Hey guys, Jordy from Seven Eagle Group. I am so excited today to be chatting with Bill Ellis, a U.S. Army veteran who lives near me. He's in Rhode Island. Just a great guy. He served as an aviator in the Army, as a rotary wing pilot. His wife is also a veteran, which is very cool, big military family. And Bill is a real estate developer, and he founded a company called New England Energy Development, and just a lot of different experiences over the years. And I wanted to have a chance to talk with Bill this morning to just to hear his story and to hear any advice that he might have for veterans who are looking for help in their civilian career. So Bill, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me this morning. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and it's actually an honor to serve in
That's
any capacity that I can.
Hey, that's great. That's what I really like about you. Let's start out. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your military experience, what you did, what you learned from the experience?
Yeah, so I'll actually start with the fact that I'm a third generation veteran. So two of my grandparents served in World War II. My father was a lifer. He served in Vietnam. So I was an Army brat, traveled all over growing up. So I had that experience. My wife is a veteran, as I mentioned, and her father was a U.S. Marine, and that sticks with you for life. So I'd say with both of us growing up, what got instilled in us is those values of duty, honor, and country. And they're so critical and so essential to the integrity and the fabric of the country. So I just want to say to everyone who's listening and who has served, thank you for your service. There's no higher honor, and it's an honorable call as well that you've served. So I appreciate that. There was really no doubt that I was going to go in the military growing up, partly because of the background, but also because my parents instilled in me the desire and the need actually to go to college. And my father was enlisted. None of my prior generations had gone to college. So the only way I was going to do that was through an ROTC scholarship. Fortunately, the grades were good enough for that. So they paid my way through college with earn a mechanical engineering degree. That also enabled me to pursue a passion, which I think is every young boy's passion, is to learn how to fly. So the opportunity to enter the military in the aviation branch, and this was just the newly reformed aviation branch. It had gone dormant after the Army Air Corps was converted over to the Air Force. So this was very early on. I actually had to go to the Air Defense Artillery Officer Advanced course because he didn't even have a course for aviation yet. But I did go to flight school. I served in Korea, did VIP support up in the demilitarized zone for a year. It's ironically where I met my wife. She was a nurse at the 121 evac hospital, active duty. And we actually met and married in Seoul City Hall. For those of you who served, you won't get assigned together in your next assignment unless you're actually officially married. So we went through the chain of command. We got the legal marriage and went home and had the big wedding when we got back to the States. She went through her advanced course. I went through some more flight school and transitioned into the Cobras, went to the maintenance test pilot course, and then we went to Hawaii and served Wheeler Air Force Base and Schofield Barracks. And that's where we started our family as well. So that's the military career. Very exciting. Learned a lot of great skills. I think some of the things that I learned that are transferable or applicable to anyone who's looking to work today is that I think the first thing I learned was that leading in the military is not as simple as simply giving orders. At least not leading well. I mean, we know we can get things done, and if we're not obeyed, you can send someone to Fort Leavenworth and they can make big rocks into little rocks for for a period of time. But if you really want to lead in the military, the things that really stick out are those who have integrity. By integrity, I mean you absolutely walk your talk. The values that you profess are the values that you live. And if there's no disparity in that, then there's tremendous respect, and you gain the respect of your men as well. I've also learned how important it was to maintain the dignity of individuals. Even if you're going through the process of disciplining someone, there's no need to do that in public. There's no need to chew somebody up and down in front of others and tear them down. Maintain their dignity, do it in private, make it a learning lesson, and build unity in your unit versus division. And that just creates division otherwise. Finally, I'd say, if you really want to get your team on board, get them to get some skin in the game. And one of the best ways I did that was when I was doing test flights in Hawaii. I would take my mechanics and I would pick them completely at random. These are the guys who worked on the helicopters. And I took them out on the test flights with me. So they had real skin in the game. If they didn't do their job well, they knew that their own lives are at risk potentially. So they not only enjoyed the reward of taking a flight with me, but they also knew that, for their own sake, they had to do their job extremely well. So some of the things, those are some of the things I'd leave with those that I took away from my military experience.
Those are great, all good lessons. I love those. Talk about now your transition out of the military. What did you know what you want to do? Was it a learning process? Did it take you a little while to get your feet on the ground?
So two main reasons for transitioning. One, I had started my family when we were in Hawaii, and in the military is just not the most conducive lifestyle to raising a family. I was deploying once a week or 1 week a month, and then we were deploying 1 month out of every year. So there wasn't a lot of time at home. And then secondly, I really wanted to challenge myself. And by that, I mean, again, one of the other lessons I learned from the military is it's not a meritocracy. Advancement, promotion, et cetera, was more based on date of rank, as long as you didn't step on yourself. And that's what drove promotions and advancement. And I wanted to challenge myself and just see how successful I could be performing in an environment that is performance based. So when the opportunity came, we decided to leave. Fortunately, in college, it was a cooperative education with Northeastern University. So I had work experience with GE aircraft engines at the time up in Lynn. I actually called one of my old supervisors, my last supervisor, informed him that I was leaving, wanted to stay in the aviation arena. I had the mechanical engineering degree to apply. And he set up some interviews for me, and they went extremely well. Unfortunately, that was successful. That's one of the lessons I want to leave with folks as well. Utilize and leverage. Uh, there are a tremendous amount of people that you come in contact throughout various facets of your life. They're not always associated with your occupation, but you'd be quite surprised that just sharing with people what you're doing, what you hope to do, who they know, and what opportunities they're aware of that they can bring to you and help you and assist you in your particular job search. So utilize that network, keep it active, and keep those relationships warm. GE was a great company. At the time, you've probably heard names like Jack Welch, who was the most admired CEO of the century. They were the most admired company. They're always in Harvard Business Review. Things have changed since then, but it was a great company. I spent 10 years with them in various quality control, production control, aftermarket service. I did some auditing to learn, and then I did some Six Sigma as well, so continuous improvement. Another lesson there, broaden your experience base, take on different functions, take on different jobs, learn business as a whole so that you understand whatever job you're doing, how does that fit into the business overall, and what role are you playing in contributing to the success of that business. So gain as much as broad of an experience as you possibly can. I also took a lot of tough jobs, and I'd advise everyone to do that. There are a lot of jobs that remain open for a period of time. People don't want them. So take the job that nobody else wants, go in there and perform and demonstrate your ability, and that always gets rewarded. Build your resume, build your experience, and build your credibility as well. So I think it's a great way to develop all those things. I moved on to Textron from there, fastening systems, integrated supply chain, did some help in transforming the corporation. And then I was actually a president running Textron Fluid and Power, which was an industrial business, old blue collar industrial, and it needed some turnaround. So we focused on what we needed to do to grow the company's top line, improve the profit. We ultimately turned around and sold it, which was a very nice success for Textron Corporation. And from there, then I moved on to actually as a CEO of a $1 billion company in England. Headquarters were in the UK. And we manufactured aircraft engine components, industrial gas turbine components, turbocharger wheels, and other industrial companies as well. That was a private equity experience. It was a little bit different. A lot of focus, particularly on on profit, and they expect a lot in a very short period of time. So challenges are very high, but then you also learn about the different cultures and the different priorities that others have in different areas of the world, and also the value of diversity that comes with all those things. After 3 years running Doncaster's, a very successful stint, just came back to return to the States, decided to do some roles in consulting and advisory roles. Nice, but really not my cup of tea. Really had a desire to see if I could run my own company and be successful. So we started a partnership in the real estate and solar energy development. And that's where we stand today.
That's great. What a storied background. So many different experiences. I love all the suggestions you have for veterans to you know to put themselves, I guess, in a position to win and have new opportunities. That's awesome. What advice would you have for, a young veteran starting out, transitioning out of the military? He or she's unsure what they want to do. How would you point them in the best direction?
Yeah, I think taking an inventory of what you enjoy doing. I think pursuing your passion at the end of the day uh, challenges you to be very good at what you do, or enables you to be very good at doing it, and you enjoy the work. So therefore, you put everything into it. You learn as much as you can. So do what you like to do. On the other hand, also, don't be afraid to try new things. If there's something that you think you'd be interested in, you've never done it before, have the courage to step out and try to pursue opportunities in new arenas and never stop learning. One of the things I would do once you decide the path you want to take, get yourself certified, get yourself licensed, do some sort of training to give you some functional or technical expertise in that particular arena. That gives you credibility, and that expertise and that credibility builds your reputation. And at the end of the day, that reputation either builds your business or builds your personal success within that particular company. I'd also say, if you're don't necessarily hold out for the perfect job. This is some of the counsel I've actually given my children. You're not going to land your perfect dream job either right out of college, high school, or out of the military. So if something comes along that's available and it's even tangentially related, take the work, get involved, learn, perform well, advance in the organization, and use those opportunities not only to support yourself and your family, but grow, build your resume, and create build yourself into, in essence, an asset where you can demonstrate value to virtually any other company in any other space. So don't fear trying something new. The worst thing that could happen is you fail and you go try again. But we all learn and we
Yeah,
grow from those experiences as well.
that's great. Let's talk to the civilian business owner. What
Mm.
does he or she how does he or she benefit their company by adding some veterans to their team? What can a veteran do to help their businesses grow?
Well, veterans bring with them unique experiences and characteristics that I don't think are always recognized by civilian or commercial companies. And their dedication, their loyalty, their honor, the integrity. I think one of the greatest things I like to share, is that just by nature, the fact that a veteran has agreed to join the military and serve, they're a selfless individual. I've shared with you that I'm a Christian. One of my favorite verses is in John 15:13. It says, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." So simply by deciding or agreeing to serve, you have laid your life on the line for not just your friends, but 350 million strangers in
Mhm.
this country. And that's a great demonstration of humility and self-sacrifice. All those characteristics brought to any job, I think, are extremely valuable. And it's a great way to succeed too. If we want to transition over to advice again, I think one of the greatest ways to succeed in any organization is to commit to making others successful. Make that your priority, your objective. Your teammates and your particular boss and his boss, make them successful, help them achieve their goals and objectives. And in the end, everything else will take care of itself for you personally.
That's great. Let's talk about what you like to do in your free time. I know you're a big boater. You love a lot of outdoor activities. What are some of the things you and your family do together?
Well, we have a home on the beach in Jersey. So when the weather's nice, we're down there. We spend a lot of time in the summer. I don't own a boat, but it's great to have friends with boats. So so we
Even
do
better.
enjoy that. Uh, and I do enjoy golf. So
Yeah.
again, when the weather's nice, we're outside at least about once a week, and then I make a trip to the Cape for a week on a golf trip with my brother and some friends as well.
That's awesome. And I know you're also a volunteer with Operation Stand Down, an incredible military organization doing a lot of really good work for the community. Talk a little bit about their mission.
Yeah, that's correct. So we actually volunteer with a lot of organizations, but that one in particular is close to home. It helps a lot of the local veterans that are a little down on their luck, and they're not necessarily having success either, either with occupation or employment, or they're struggling with certain addictions and things they need help with. On stand down weekends, we provide volunteers to come and provide some very basic needs, not only food and sustenance and shelter, but also things like medical care. And we'll do something as simple as provide haircuts and shaves as well, if necessary. So just provide a little bit of focus and attention and support to them and try to give them a hand up, versus just a handout as well. We provide some career advice and interview support as well if they're in that job hunt scenario. So that's again one of those areas that we like to support and are close to home.
Well, Bill, I can't thank you enough for taking some time to share your story, your experiences that you had, all this great advice that you have for the veterans. You are an impressive person. I am so honored to know you and to call you a friend, and glad that you're now involved with Seven Eagle, part of our family, and the work that you're doing for your community is incredible. And you're an inspiration to all of us. So thank you so much for everything you're doing, and appreciate you taking time again today.
Pleasure's mine, Jordy.